I have to give you a little backstory so this whole thing makes sense. I'm a student at a smaller campus in the California State University system. It's not one of those massive party schools, but every year a few campuses host this huge event. A massive street festival known for wild parties, music blasting, and thousands of students flooding the streets. One of the biggest is at Cal State Santa Cruz, and they call it Seaside Fest. It's kind of like the infamous Deltopia at UCSB, except at a smaller scale, but still absolutely chaotic. Most years, my campus doesn't do anything remotely close to that, but a few friends and I decided to make the drive down and experience it for ourselves. I've always been a little hesitant about these kinds of parties, but senior year hit me hard. I thought, why not? Last chance, right? So on the Friday before the big day, we packed into my friend Jake's old van. Me, Jake, Lauren, Mike, and Sarah. It was cramped as hell, especially with everyone bringing their gear and drinks, but the drive down was full of jokes, music, and some nervous excitement. Once we got to Santa Cruz, finding parking was a nightmare. The streets were already packed, and we circled the same blocks like vultures looking for scraps. Just when we were about to give up, Jake, who's kind of a people person, spotted a guy leaving a spot and flagged it down for us. That felt like a minor miracle. Now, Jake's older brother, who goes to Santa Cruz, was supposed to let us crash at his place. The apartment was a few blocks from the festival, so it was perfect. His roommates were super chill, and they were throwing a pre-party that night to get things started early, which, honestly, none of us expected. Here's where it gets weird. Jake's brother has this acquaintance, a guy named Leo, who none of us really like. Leo's the kind of guy who's loud, invasive, and always tries to worm his way into things he doesn't belong in. Everyone's wary of him, but Jake's brother seemed to tolerate him, so we didn't think much of it. A few hours into the party, as we were heading out to grab some more drinks, guess who shows up out of nowhere? Leo. No invitation, no heads up. Just there like he'd been living in the apartment the whole time. He immediately starts bragging about how he owns the party and acts like he's the host. We were all a little thrown off. No one had even mentioned him coming, and Jake's brother looked uncomfortable. Leo kept tagging along with us, showing up at every turn, acting like he was part of our crew. It was annoying but manageable until we got back to the apartment later that night. Leo asked to use the bathroom. Jake's brother, not wanting to cause a scene, said sure. But as soon as Leo was inside, he walked past the living room, ignoring everyone, and loudly announced, "I'm staying here tonight," as if that gave him some kind of claim. Everyone was confused. This guy was crashing our spot, uninvited and completely overstepping. Jake's brother tried to tell him he needed to leave. This wasn't his place, but Leo just laughed it off and refused. It turned into this ridiculous back and forth for nearly half an hour. Leo even started threatening to call some people to prove he belonged. Finally, Jake lost his patience and told him straight up to get out. Leo left, but not before staring us down like he wanted to come back with backup. We spent the rest of the night nervously laughing it off, thinking he'd just blow smoke. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Fast forward to the next day. The actual festival was insane. The streets were flooded with people, music everywhere, and chaos unfolding at every corner. We had the time of our lives for a few hours, but when we got back to the apartment, things took a dark turn. Mike pulled up Leo's social media and noticed something strange. Leo had been sharing his location publicly, which meant anyone could track him. Suddenly, Lauren checked her phone and gasped. Leo's location? It was right outside the apartment. We all looked out the window, half expecting to see him lurking in the shadows. but no one was there. The dot moved slowly along the street, almost like he was stalking us, waiting for a chance to get back inside. That night, after everyone had crashed from the exhaustion of the day, I was jolted awake by a loud noise. It sounded like something heavy crashing against the balcony door. I sat up and listened. The silence in the apartment was deafening except for the faint sound of glass breaking. Heart pounding, I grabbed a chair as a makeshift weapon and crept toward the living room. What I saw made my blood run cold. The sliding glass door was shattered. Jagged shards littered the floor, and outside the balcony was eerily empty. I called out to my friends, but no one stirred. I started to feel completely alone and vulnerable. Then I caught movement out of the corner of my eye. The closet door in the living room was slightly ajar, moving as if someone was just inside. I froze. My mind raced. Could Leo have snuck in? Was he hiding inside, waiting for us? I debated throwing the door open, but something told me not to. Instead, I quietly backed away and woke Jake. Together, we approached cautiously, and as we reached the closet, it suddenly swung open. No one was there. But then Jake's hand appeared, holding a massive butcher knife he'd grabbed from the kitchen earlier. That's when it hit me. Leo had been in the closet waiting, probably with the intent to hurt us. The thought that he could have been standing right behind that door moments ago sent a wave of terror crashing over me. We woke everyone else up, did a thorough sweep of the apartment, but found no sign of him. The police came, but there wasn't much they could do. Apparently, damage during the festival was normal, and without proof, they couldn't take it further. The craziest part? Leo had stopped sharing his location right after the incident. We packed up and left the next morning, shaken and paranoid. Jake sent him a blistering message, telling him never to contact us again, but it never delivered. Leo had blocked all of us. Weeks later, there's still this lingering dread. Leo knows where we live, and I can't help but wonder, if he was willing to break in once, what's to stop him from coming back?